Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to learn the calculator. It's sort of when user enter LB, it will convert into kg, and we're going to use HTML, CSS, little bit of the Bootstrap in a JavaScript, particularly a validation, if-else statement, event, function, and all these things. So what is our apps look like when user don't enter anything? It will throw the validation. Please enter the number. As soon as user enter any LB, it will convert into the kg when they click on the submit button. So without wasting time, let's get started. So for that, first thing you need to download Visual Studio Code. That's where it's a code editor where you write your code. If you don't want to use that, if you want to use some other editors, you can use it, but in this video we're going to use Visual Studio Code, and link is in the description. So I already have my folder on the desktop. You can create your own and click on a new file and provide a name. I'm going to give the name as lb to kg.html, and as soon as its HTML is created, so I'm going to say HTML, and it will provide me the option. Remember, if you don't give the extension .html, then it won't provide you this option. So I click on HTML5 and it will create a boilerplate for that. Also, I'm using a live server, so if you want to download, basically click on extension, and here is a live server. Click on that one and install. It's up to you if you want to use it, or what other thing you can do. So right click on that particular HTML, and either you can go to in a default browser, or you can choose the other browser. So you can use Google Chrome and Mozilla. So uh, that's what it is, and let's going to do. So basically in the body part, we're going to use our h1 tag, and I would say lb to lb to kg, and let's see how it's look in the I'm using a live server, so that will display how it's look. See, I like to see how it's look always. Okay, so not bad. Okay, and now we need an input tag, so I would say input type equal to text, and same thing I'm copy here, and this is for lb, this is for kg, and we need a button, and we can give name as a submit. Okay, and let's go back and check. Okay, so in live server, that's a good thing, you don't have to refresh, but if you are not using live server, then every time you have to refresh. And also make sure you already saved here. If you don't save, then it won't reflect your changes over here. So right now it's look like this. Okay, so if you click on that one, it won't do anything. Okay, so that's where we need a JavaScript. So I would say script, and we're going to write our code over here. Okay, so let's give some ID here. So ID equal to lb, and id equal to kg. Okay, and button id equal to submit, or let's say sub. So now we want that id, so we would say document dot get, and if you're using code editor, that's a good thing. It's always provide you the option. So since we are using the id, we says id, and in a double quote we says lb. The semicolon is not mandatory, but I like to use that one, since if you're using a different language like Java and that's a good practice. That's why I'm using. So now we have lb, right? So why lb? Because we provide id name as the lb. That's why we are using that one. And I'm going to use basically store in the one variable, so I can use lb. So if it is confusing, then you can use basically any other name, right? So let's use username, okay, just for clarification purpose. So this lb comes from, right, this lb comes from this id. So same thing we're going to do for the kg, okay, and here we say kg, and here we provide name kg from here, okay. And we're going to do for the submit button, and sub, and we're going to store in the variable. So submit, okay. So now we store these ids, right, in our variable, but still it won't do anything, okay. If you click, it won't do anything because we haven't done anything with that. So now what we can do, we can add event on that button. So what we can do, submit dot add event listener, click function. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what is that. So it's looks scary, but it's easy. So what we are trying to say here, so when someone click on that submit button, we're going to fire some event, and this function will run. So what it is, when someone click on that button, our function will run. So when someone click on this button, function will run. So it's better to use alert, and just we want to make sure we did correct. So, and I'll come back here and it says hello, okay. So but we don't want this, right? We don't want hello, but we want to make sure our function has doesn't have any error in spelling or anything like that. So we can say user kg dot value equal to user lb dot value. Why we use the value? Because whatever user enter in the input, right? So that's where how we grab with the value, right? So that's what it is, okay. And we want to make sure, so when we write 1, it says 1, okay. When we click on a 4 and click on a submit, it says 4 here also, but we don't want that, right? We want to convert that's in a kg. So the formula of when we 1 lb, when it's divided by 2.20462262. So this is like a roughly formula. And now let's check. So when I enter 1, okay, so it's converting, okay. And when I click 2 and hit the submit, it's converted, okay, great. But let's say if I don't enter anything, right? Let refresh, okay. If I don't enter anything and if I click on submit, it says 0. I don't want that. I want some sort of error message that please enter some value or something like that. So we can use the if function. So if, and then we're going to use somewhere else. So now we want to provide the error. So let's add somewhere here h4 tag, h4, and we can do some span tag also here. So span, and we give id as error. And now here I'm going to do exactly like that. And here I would specify error, store in the variable. Okay, so now, okay, so now what we want to say, if someone will enter, if doesn't enter anything, we're going to throw validation. So how to get that? We have that stored everything in a user lb. If user lb and dot value, right? Because if someone enter over there, equal empty, right? And then we're going to say error. Remember, we have this error. So error dot inner text equal to, and now we can say the error message. We can say uh, invalid input. Okay, and if there is not empty, then we're going to convert our calculation. So we're going to put here. So let's check. So if user doesn't enter anything, okay, so that's good. So it's printing out, but it has one bug, and I'll tell you what it is. So let's say if doesn't enter, it provide, so it basically throw the error. But if I enter one and hit submit, it converted, but my error message is still there. I don't want that. So how to fix that? It's simple. So in else statement, we can say error dot inner text equal to, and we're going to set as empty, and let's check. So now if I don't specify anything, it says invalid input. If I say 1, and it's gone. So that's perfectly fine. Okay, so that's working good. Okay, so now our validation is also good. So now what we're going to do, we're going to some adding some css in that one, so it's probably looks a little bit good. Okay, so first thing what we're going to do, we're going to wrap everything in a we can say div id equal to container, and from h1 we're going to basically add in that one. So everything wrap up in the container. Okay, and now even let's say in a document we say k lb to kg, lb to kg, and here we're going to add our style sheet, not a style sheet but style element. Okay, so I would say style. So since id, so if we are, it is id, then it's a hash and the name of thing. So let's copy, and we're going to put here curly brace, and then we can say height, and we can provide maybe 500 pixel. Okay, width we can provide 500 pixel, and I like to give the background color so it will sort of the display in the color, so it will easy to see that. So um, let's go back. So let's check how it's look. Open with live server. Okay. Uh, so let's change the color and let's reduce the height. So I would say 350 and width is 200 pixel, and we change color to maybe gray. Okay, and let's check. Okay, looks a little bit better. And now we can add the border, and we can say 2 pixel. Oops, not there. 2 pixel and solid and black. And we can go back here, and you can see that's added. Okay. Now, and you can see this the text is not in a center, so we can add that in a center. So what we can do, we can say text align center. And now we can go back. Okay, it's a little bit better. And now we can set the margin. So margin top, and we can say 100 pixel. Come back here. Okay, let's make a width as a 210. Okay, and margin left, and we say 220 pixel. So that will push from the left. So that pushed from the left. Okay, and we can provide one more BR to the button. So here I would say BR, and let's check. Okay, and let's give, because right now when I click on a submit, so it's in a black color, so it's matching with everything, right? So we don't want that. We want to provide in a red, so it will basically catch to the user. uh, so how we going to do that, since we already have the ID, right? And it says the error, this ID. So what we can do here, hash, you probably know now, error, curly brace, and we can say color, and we can provide the color is maybe red, semicolon. We can save, we can check here. Okay, so now it will display it's an invalid input in a red color. Okay, that's great. Now that button doesn't look that great, right? So what we can do, we can use Bootstrap for that. Even you don't, if you don't want to use this CSS, still it's okay. But let's now dive deep into a little bit Bootstrap. Okay, so what you can do basically, go to the website. It says getbootstrap.com. Link is in the description. So when you click on a get started, okay, and you can see there is a CSS. So basically copy that and you come back over here in your code editor, and you can uh, basically, after the style, before the ending section of the head, you can paste there. So now the link is there, and now you can if you want to see the button how it's look like, you can go to the button, and let's say if you want uh, the blue color button, simply just copy the class and add in our button. So add in our button, save, and let's check. Okay, so if you don't add this, if you forget to add that one, the link, then it won't work. Okay, and if you want your button to be green, then add a success, and it's changed to the green, right? So it's everything over there. So let's do danger, and now it's changed to the red. Okay, and but let's try warning. Okay, this is the last one. I'm not going to try each and everything. Okay, so I think keep it that one. Let's give PR. Okay, so now if you click on a submit, it it says invalid input. If you add 10 and if you click on submit, so okay, so this is the how you create some small apps in JavaScript. Hope you like my video. If you like, please share and subscribe. I didn't do so much dive deep in that one, so I try to cover all the topics like CSS, HTML, Bootstrap, JavaScript, in a sort of the DOM and all these things event. So it's a good practice, and I try to explain in possible easy way. So hope you like my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next video. Bye.